Thrice the brinded cat mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harpier cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time."
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Sweltered venom, sleeping gut, boil thou first in this charmeth pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven sea salt shark, root of hammock, dig it in the dark, liver of a blasphemous Jew, gall of goat, and slips of yew silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of a birth-strangled babe. Add thereto the tiger's chaudron, fourth ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Come high, come low.
Thyself and office.
Deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
Shh. He knows thy thought. Here is speech, but say thou not. Macbeth, Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me, enough.
Whatever thou you art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another more potent than the first.
Macbeth, 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 be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet, I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pair-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish be until great Birnam Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet Bodeman's good, rebellious dead, rise never till the wood of Birnam rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, play his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one more thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse will fall on you. Let me know.
Show!
Show.
Joe.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs. Horrible sight. Now, I see, 'tis true. Oh, what is this so?
Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stay I and a curse in the calendar, infected by the air whereon they ride, and damned all those who trust them.
There's a willow grows askant the brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Hang there my verse in witness of my love, and thou thrice-crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress name that my full life doth sway. O Rosalind! Oh, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, and that every eye which in this forest looks shall see the virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
From east to western in, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mount on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest line are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind. I will speak to him, and under this habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is it, O clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest. I'll sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With a shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat. There's a man haunts this forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies upon brambles. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not, a blue eye and sunken, which you have not, an unquestionable spirit, which you have not. Then your hose should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements, as loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it, and you as soon make her that you love believe it. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees, wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to the youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely madness, yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yeah, yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, will now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness. And thus I cured him. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver clean, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my cot and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Just go with me to it, and I'll show it to you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind.
Sir, spare your threats. That bug which you would fright me with, I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor I do give lost, for I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body, from him I am barred like one infectious. My third joy, starred most unluckily, is from my breast, the innocent milk in it most innocent mouth. Haled out for murder, myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Lastly, hurried here to this place, in its open air, before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive, that I should fear to die? Therefore proceed, and yet hear this. Mistake me not. No life, I prize it not a straw, but for mine honor, which I would free, if I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping else but what your jealousies awake. I tell you, 'tis rigor, not law. Your honors all, I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? Oh, mine eyes are made fools of the other senses, or worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dungeon gots of blood, which was not so before. No, there is no such thing. It is a bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, over the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtain sleep. Thou firm and sure set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk. Fear thy very stones pray to my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. While I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold the breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell, summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Come away, servant. Come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy greatest pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to ride on the curled clouds, to dive into the fire, to thy greatest bidding task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, Now on the beak, now in the waist, in the deck, in every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the top mast, the yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit! But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they aerial safe?
Not a hair perished, on their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in the sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in the harbor is the king's ship, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with the charm, joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have all met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing they saw the king shipwrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time o' day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time 'twixt 6, and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody! What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty?
Before the time be out? No more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget? From what a torment I did free thee.
No.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. I must, once in a month, recount what thou hast been, which thou forgottest. This damned witch Sycorax, this blue-eyed hag, was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, wast then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island saved for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp hag, born not honored with the human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so, that Caliban, whom I keep in my service. Thou best knowest what a torment I did find thee in, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou houst away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph o' the sea. Be subject to no sight but mine and thine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape, and hither come in it. Go, hence with diligence.
As young as I am, I have observed these three swashers. I am boy to them all three. But all they three, they should serve me, could not be man to me. For indeed such three antics do not amount to a man. Fair Bardolph, he is white-livered and red-faced, by the means whereof faces out, but fights not. For pistol, he hath a killing tongue and a quiet sword, by the means whereof breaks word and keeps whole weapons. For Nym, he hath heard that men of few words are the best men, and thereof he scorns to say his prayers, lest a should be thought a coward, but as few bad words are matched with as few good deeds. For a never broke any man's head but his own, and that was against a post when he was drunk. They will steal anything and call it purchase. Bardolph stole a lute case, bore it 12 leagues, and sold it for 3 halfpence. Nym and Bardolph are sworn brothers in filching, and in Calais they stole a fire shovel. I knew by that piece of service the men would carry coals. They would have me as familiar with men's pockets as their gloves or their handkerchiefs, which makes much against my manhood if I should take from another's pockets to put into mine, for it is a plain pocketing up of wrongs. I must leave them and seek some better service. Their villainy goes against my weak stomach, and therefore I must cast it up.
In faith, I am too cursed. Too cursed is more than cursed, and I shall lessen God sending me a husband, for which the blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen. And I may light on a husband that hath no beard. What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. So will I away to St. Peter, and he shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Good Margaret, find my cousin Beatrice, whisper her ear, and tell her that I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardest us. There she will hide her, to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Fare thee well.
I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must only be of how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay.
Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs to hear a conference.
Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves her so dearly?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortune a bed as Beatrice ever shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice.
Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matters else seem weak.
She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She's so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, in a gait very vilely cut. If speaking, why a vain blow with all winds. If silent, why a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. If it were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy always accepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in.
He's limed, I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And, Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it's better than reportingly.